No matter how dull your scissors are, don't throw them away just yet. With a few simple tips, you can sharpen them like new right at home. Hello, it's great to see you again on the Clever Tricks channel. Scissors are a familiar tool in every household. Children use them for crafts. We use them to cut thread and open packages. In the kitchen, scissors are absolutely indispensable. But after some use, the scissor blades will gradually become dull. Some people choose to throw them away. Others spend money to have them sharpened at a shop. Meanwhile, scissors have two different-sided blades compared to knives, and sharpening them incorrectly can even ruin the scissors. If you've ever had to replace your scissors because they became dull after only a short time of use, please be patient and watch this entire video, because the next method is much simpler than you think. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Method 1. Today I'll share my first tip with you. Actually, in everyday life, there are many alternative ways to sharpen scissors. For example, aluminum foil used in baking. We fold the aluminum foil several times. Then use scissors to cut continuously. You can make about 15 to 20 cuts like that. Just open, cut continuously. Then the scissors will become very, very sharp. If you want the simplest way, this is the easiest. Even women can do it very easily. Normally, if your household scissors are dull and heavily rusted, do this. Fold the aluminum foil, cut slowly with the scissors, repeating the open-close motion. This way, not only can you remove rust, but you can also sharpen the scissors. It's truly killing two birds with one stone. Many people would probably say that this method doesn't last long. So I can tell you very responsibly that its effectiveness is almost the same as using a whetstone. Since scissors only need a few days to become dull, if you have to spend extra time sharpening them with a whetstone, try this method. It works just as well. Now let's test the sharpness of the scissors. Cut the plastic bag. Wow, it's sharp right away. Using a thin plastic bag to test the sharpness is the best way. If you can't cut through the thin bag, then the scissors are really dull. Look at these scissors after cutting the foil. Pretty good, right? Cutting the paper is still no problem. Very sharp. Where are you from? It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. The cut is clean and precise. It feels like a light touch is all it takes to cut through, requiring minimal force. You can try this method too. Method 2. We don't need to buy a whetstone. Prepare a ceramic bowl at home. Turn the bowl upside down. The circular part at the bottom of the bowl has a rough surface. When you touch it, it feels like the surface of a whetstone. Therefore, we can use it as a substitute for a whetstone. Next, begin sharpening the scissors. Don't use too much force during this process. Sharpening scissors is slightly more complicated than sharpening a knife. Scissors have two sides, a flat contact surface and an angled surface. These two surfaces must be sharpened in two different ways. I'm currently grinding the surface, so it needs to be perfectly flat. There should be no angle, otherwise it will damage the scissor blades. The main purpose of sharpening the surface is to readjust the angle of the scissors. You'll see that the outer bevel is sharpened to match the blade of the scissors. The inner sharpening is for adjusting the cutting angle. When sharpening, we need to pay attention. The blade should only be sharpened in one direction, not back and forth, because different forces can damage the scissor blade. While sharpening, the scissors need to be opened and closed. Now, we tilt the plane at an angle of approximately 75 degrees. Not all angles are the same. If you don't understand what I'm saying, look closely at both sides of the blade and you'll understand immediately. Don't keep sharpening in one spot. Sharpen while rotating the bowl. Let's try again. It works very well. It's almost like new. If you feel resistance when cutting, it means the scissors are gripping well and we've sharpened them correctly. Very sharp. If the sensation of eating isn't quite right, you can repeat the steps above. Do it again. You can also tighten the rivets at the upper joint of the scissors. Method 3. Let me share with you the third method. This one is even simpler. Take out a screwdriver from your home. Use scissors to cut into the screwdriver shaft. Make sure the entire blade of the scissors makes as much friction as possible with the screwdriver, but don't use too much force. When sharpening a screwdriver, repeatedly push and pull back and forth on the screwdriver shaft. Repeat this process until the blade is sharp. Sharpening scissors with a screwdriver works on the same principle as sharpening kitchen knives. After just a minute or two, the scissor blades will be very sharp. Cutting paper or fabric will be easy, and so will cutting other things. If your scissors get dull again after just 2 days, try these 3 tips. Easy to learn, almost foolproof. No more worrying about dull scissors at home. The scissor blades are sharp now, but the surface is still rusty and looks very old. Using rusty scissors to cut food is not good for your health. Here's an easy way to remove rust and stains from scissors. Prepare a large plate, big enough to place all the scissors on. Take some food-grade baking soda. This type of baking soda has excellent cleaning properties. Sprinkle a generous amount of baking soda evenly over the scissors. Then pour some white vinegar over it. White vinegar will react with baking soda, helping to remove dirt and soften rust from the scissors surface. Then soak the scissors like that for about 5 minutes. A mixture of white vinegar and baking soda will make stains come off very easily. It's time. Use a toothbrush to scrub directly on the surface of the scissors. Focus on scrubbing the joints, the areas most prone to rust. It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Just scrubbing for about 2 minutes is enough to completely clean the scissors, including the rust on the surface. It's very easy to scrub off. Now, look at those scissors. They feel brand new. Above are some tips for sharpening scissors and cleaning rust that I'm sharing with you today. It's very simple and very practical. Have you learned it yet? Okay, that's all for today. If my video was helpful to you, please remember to like and share. Hopefully I can help even more people. Click on my video thumbnail to see more cooking tips and life hacks. We share different interesting videos every day. Don't forget to follow me. Thank you for your support. See you next time.